We'll burn this whole world down with matches and some gasoline. It will be something to see.
Have a few screws loose that you don't want to turn. There's no smoke without fire and no fire without burns. And once burnt, twice to shine. You might learn that my life is mine and I am none of your concern. Bring fire, I don't care. We'll burn this whole world down with gasoline. It will be something to see.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Caucasian Sasquatch show, where Sasquatch says and nobody cares. So tonight I have with me one Richie Rish, aka 007. 007, that is. So I showed y'all a little bit of one of his videos a couple of nights ago. I've been pitching him for a couple of days now, and I kind of hope y'all are as intrigued as I was the first time I come across him. So without any further ado, I'm going to turn his madman onto the mic. How are you doing today?
Yo, what's up? How's it going, man? I'm gonna have to keep my voice down because I'm in the kitchen, making hot chocolate, and it's late at night, like 1:15 in the morning. So everyone's gone to sleep in the hostel. So I've got to keep my voice down while I'm in here. But yeah, how's it going, man?
It's going.
Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I can hear you pretty good. I'm kind of eyeballing what the stream's looking like on YouTube, checking everything out, doing that thing. I'm trying to find you a link. I'm trying to find the link to the world. And and clipboard probably just popped up for everybody to see it. Anyway, so without further ado, I'm gonna turn you loose on it and let you do that thing.
Tell me loose, man.
Or
1 second, mate. 1 second. Really sorry.
This is part of the live part of live. I'm trying to get my man a link to the live so he can send it out with his stuff. So in theory, that should be in the chat backstage now, and I can talk to the people in the chat. How are you doing, Tom? What is shaking, George? Y'all doing okay? Let me get his. No, I can't do that yet. Which is a weird thing. I don't know why I can't do that, but it's boggling me. For some reason, I'm having trouble copying links from my laptop into certain chats. Like I just sent you one in the private chat backstage. That's the link to this. So you want to link that community chat or community post or whatever it is you're going to do. There it is.
I'm gonna put it in the Magic Treehouse. So anybody that's in the treehouse now can come and have a watch. So I'm gonna do that in just a sec. As soon as I've made my chocolate.
Treehouse is. Or you want me to play the video first? So do you want to think Magic Treehouse is, or do you want me to play the video? I played them a little bit of it. Didn't play all of it.
Yeah, come on, play the video, man, because that'll give me time to finish my chocolate.
Finish your chocolate, brother. This isn't live or anything. We got plenty of time.
Listen, no, that's another thing about me. I'm just like, I just
really laid
back, man. Laid back. With my mind on my money and my money on my mind.
And hammer. Copyright claim right there, bam. YouTube, right?
Nah, you're right, because I sang it really badly, so it's okay.
Yeah, they're really like, oh, really? Maybe? I don't know.
They didn't even recognize it, man. The bots were like, what was that?
I'm going to do this thing. I'm going to go over here and do this. Right.
Where's my glass?
Right so, oh, wow. Okay, yeah, that's pretty good actually. Oh, right. So this off. I'm telling you, this will get a lot smoother once I get used to doing all these little doohickeys.
Don't you worry about it, man. Do you remember when you were 10 or 11 years old? When you didn't have a care in the world and so much more seemed possible? Do you remember when you got excited about what the day might bring and to see your friends? And when hot chocolate and marshmallow s'mores by a campfire were things that made you really excited?
I really do. I love
Do you
a
remember
campfire.
before hormones kicked in and complicated everything? Imagine a place where you can be that 10 or 11-year-old child again. But this time, all the rights and all the privileges of a fully grown adult. To enter this realm, you have to be of childlike spirit. Not childish, not spoiled, not hateful, just innocent, childlike spirits who want to have wholesome fun. Simple rules. No adults. No politics. No sexy talk. No hating. No alcohol. Only unconditional love towards your fellow Goonies.
I love the
Me and some friends have created that space, and we want as many friends to join us and experience the magic of the Magic Treehouse. Become a Magic Treehouse Goonie. Email me for a Telegram link where we'll get to know you before we actually invite you into the Magic Treehouse on Signal. When you show yourself to be an original, you'll have to give your phone number to the person that's inviting you in.
That might
If you don't trust them with your phone number, we don't trust you in our group. Everyone in this group trusts each other. It started with 3 of us, and now there are 6 or 7, and already that number has grown and is growing more day by day. So there is no limit on the amount of people that can come and join us in the Magic Treehouse. But we have to know you a bit before we invite you in. Looking forward to hearing from you. Speak to you soon.
All right, there you go.
There you go, man.
Go for it.
So, well, I guess I'm just grabbing my stuff. I'm done here in the kitchen, so make sure I've switched off. Yeah, it's basically, I don't know how much you know about scripture, or whoever's listening. I don't know how much you know about scripture. But one of the quotes, and I'm paraphrasing because I'm not good at quoting scripture, but one of the things that Jesus says, and I think John says it, be as children to enter the kingdom of heaven. And it didn't really, I didn't get it. I didn't fully appreciate what that meant until a couple of weeks ago. I've thought for a long time, I've always thought that I'm a happy, easygoing. I mean, not, yeah. always wanted to be a happy, easygoing, nice lads, you know, that everybody got on with, anybody could get on with, anybody could speak to. I'd be friends with anybody, you know, anybody decent, obviously. But things happen in my life. I mean, it started at an early age, but it ended up, things went really bad in my early 20s. I had a really serious car accident, fatal car accident, and it pretty much destroyed, it destroyed more than just my life. It destroyed my life and the lives of a few other people as well, because you know, somebody was killed, and it was my girlfriend. She was killed. So her family, her brother, her mum, and all of her relatives. Her dad was already dead, but nothing was ever the same after that. Nothing was ever the same after that. The entire universe had changed. And when I came out of, I was in a coma. And when I came out of the coma and I was released back home, I thought I was in a parallel universe. So it felt, in every way, it felt like I was in a parallel universe. My parents weren't the same people. My sister wasn't the same. Nobody was the same. Everybody was different. And I rationalized it by, I've always, ever since a young age, psychoanalyzed myself, psychoanalyzed other people. I've always been a very kind of analytical type of guy. And so I put it down to, I mean, I had all kinds of counseling, psychiatrists, what's the other one? Psychologists, psychiatrists, you know, grief counselors, all kinds of stuff. But the thing was, with people, like with my parents, with my mum, and with my friends, the change was so profound. I was saying to myself, it was because something so huge had happened. Something so huge had happened, so it makes sense that your whole universe has changed, Rich. Makes sense. But it didn't make sense how everybody had changed. Like, it just didn't make sense, because it's like I'd gone from a universe where everything was slightly positive. There was always positive and negative, but in the universe that I'd come from, everything was more on the positive side. It was like 60% positive, 40% negative. But I'd come into this universe, and this universe was 70% negative and 30% positive.
Right.
And I'm
I
like,
had an
what?
experience right after my mother died, for about a week afterwards. I had this weird, like, surrealistic thing going on that I just didn't buy it. Like, all the stuff that everybody was all upset about just did not seem like it was very fucking important at all. And I just could not take this stuff seriously. So, like, people getting bent out of shape about bills being late, I couldn't rectify that in my head with being a thing that was actually important, right? Just
Something that you needed to worry about. Yeah, something that, right.
Things that should
Why?
be didn't. For a couple of few weeks after my mom passed, I just I just didn't have all my eggs in the basket at the same time.
Yeah.
That's all that is.
I mean, in my case, it was.
Let me run through the chat right quick.
Yeah, no worries, man. Actually, while you do that, I'm just going to share the link with my guys.
Do that thing, and when you get a chance, type in chat. Well,
yes, I will do that as well.
My mouse just died.
Oh, poor little thing. Did it want a funeral?
No, computer mouse. Like, it just gave up the ghost while I was just sitting here. Let me go grab a cord for it. Good Lord. Dead air.
The beauties of live, man. The beauties of live. I'm just going to forward this to the Magic Treehouse. There we go. Right. So hopefully some of my friends will come in. And now I shall find. I just need to find you now on the. Boom! There we go.
So, like, yeah, I just realized without an actual functional mouse, none of these windows will act properly. Like, none of.
Oh, that was wrong because I was in the chat. That's why me camera.
All right,
what's going on with the camera?
Our resident disaster out of the way. Brilliant, dude. I mean, no sooner did we go live, click, that thing died, and I looked over and I did a few things with my little pokey mouse on my keyboard, and I was like, "This ain't gonna work." Oh, all of this first season.
Note in the chat. There we go.
Oh, cool.
April Rain, hey, how you doing? Harry Nuts, how you doing, man? An Abstract Look, cool
An
name.
Abstract Look is another guest that came on. Harry Nuts too. He was on night before last.
Yeah, Harry Nuts is the one that I saw. I didn't see all of it, but yeah, I watched that a couple of days ago. That's the most recent one on your channel.
Right.
Meet Mr. Nuts. And do you know the synchronicity there? One of my friends, one of the Magic Treehouse Goonies, is called Mr. Nuts.
Neat.
So I've already got a friend called Mr. Nuts, man. He's a nice guy in Australia. So, and KCG, hello. Good day, good evening. Sorry, I hate the word hello. I don't like using the word hello. I don't like hello or good morning. I've tried to stop using them. It's like good day, good evening.
Post your channel link. Why do I have
Boost my channel? I don't know. I've turned my echo cancellation. I'll turn it back on again.
Hello. All right, that seems to have dealt with it.
Right, there we go.
Good deal. All right. Sorry, as soon as you get your link posted, I'll pin it to the top, and then we can move on as if none of this happened, and I'll edit it out later. It'll look great.
So this, there you go. That's the link to my channel, to the Richie Rich channel. I've got 3 channels. Only 2 of them are so my original channel 007. I started that 4 years ago, and it was all with the same. It was with the original intention that I had is the same intention that I have now. I just got sidetracked. I got distracted by the the crap. Sorry, the language. This is shouldn't swear, should I, on this channel?
It's not for children.
It's not for children, so it doesn't matter.
It
I
should.
done my lang.
There, you know the gamer words that you shouldn't say. I'd appreciate it if you didn't get my channel deuced out with a few words. That would be lovely. A little bit of swearing, like I have a really nasty accent, so it doesn't pick up well when I say certain words. You know,
I could say shit.
right? Like shit.
Yeah.
What are you
Okay.
doing? G-chip?
Well, so I got distracted by all the effluent.
Yeah, that happens.
It was it was like 2 weeks ago, or coming up to 3 weeks ago now, because we're on Sunday. So on Tuesday it will be 3 weeks ago, and that just makes me think about how fast time is going now. It's just getting faster and faster and faster. Are you experiencing that?
I think it's a compression of concept inside your mind where you perceive the amount of time that you have left in reference to the amount of time you spend on Earth. And the longer you spend on Earth consciously, the more time you have to compare. So when you compare your past to your future, you see your past and you're like, oh, well, that's 40 however many years. And you look at your future and it would seem in a equivalent,
as if it's diminishing,
but it's not equivalent. You're closer to the end of your life than you are at the beginning. And so it's a hard thing to quantify. But yes, the older I get, the faster time seems to take place.
I mean,
it's perceptual, I would assume.
So here's one of my crazy thoughts, one of my crazy perceptions.
If you're going to have a crazy thought, I want a big view of it.
I think I'm going to live to about 144.
That would be awesome, dude. I'm not.
Yeah, I quit drinking in 2013, and that's got a large thing to do with it. If you want longevity of life, you do need to stop drinking. Anybody that's doing it, because it doesn't matter, even if it's in moderation, it will still cut your life down because it destroys your body, man. But it's strange. Before my car accident, I could not see past the age of 25. From when I was a little kid, I just didn't see me living past the age of 25. I thought I was going to die. I was absolutely convinced. I used to tell everybody, it doesn't matter, because I'm going to die before my 25th birthday. Right? And then I had my car accident. Well, actually, when I was 19, I got really badly attacked by three lads that had been kicked out of a nightclub that I was in, and they hung around outside, and they followed me and my friend as we were going home, and then they jumped me when I went down an alley, knocked me out, and put my head across the pavement and curb stomped me.
That's not
fractured my skull from ear to ear.
It's not fun at all, dude.
They carried on for a while, so the doctor was like,
guy's named Chico.
Yeah. The doctor was like, wow, you're really lucky. One more kick and you'd be severely brain damaged, or you'd be dead, and they were expecting me to have like mild epilepsy or something afterwards, because it was a bad head injury. And I didn't have nothing happened. I was fine. But then when I was 23, I had my car accident, and that was the closest to death I ever came. I've had 4 near-death experiences, but that was the closest. And that was a severe head injury again. They had to drill into my skull. I've got a hole just there. I can feel it. There's a hole in my skull because they don't fill it in again afterwards there, and it doesn't grow back. So yeah, hole in my skull there. But to relieve the pressure, because my brain had swollen up so much and there was so much fluid and crap on my brain, and they were convinced I was going to be brain damaged from that. And if I didn't have brain damage, I didn't have brain damage. So they said, yeah, you're going to have epilepsy. And I didn't have that. And I had mild memory loss. When I woke up from my coma, I'd forgotten. I didn't know who my sister was, which was weird. Didn't know who she was, but I recognized her husband. The strangest thing. And I thought I lost 2 years. When I woke up, I'd lost 2 years. I thought it was 1997. And I was freaking out because the job that I was doing in 1997, I was a successful salesman, hitting all my targets. And I was like, oh man, you've got to call them. You've got to call work. Let them know I'm not going to be in. And like, who? Adam's Associates. You've got to call them up. Richie, what year do you think it is? 1997. Yeah. But that memory came back after a couple of months. I remembered who my sister was.
I had a echo again. Anyway, I had a
yeah, go on.
I was trying to walk my kind of screwed up a bunch of pharmaceuticals, and the dog, like, he was spastic. He was like a real spastic kind of lab. He bolted out from under my feet, tripped me going down the stairs, and I cracked my head right on the armrail of my back steps. There's a 2-inch freaking iron pipe, like literal black iron pipe. I cracked my head. Buddy of mine, I thought I was tripping. Buddy of mine from Colorado, he's like, hey man, can I help you? Sure. Walked in, sat about 2 weeks staring off into space, got the word camera for a while, and couldn't read quite straight for a little bit. Correctly, I kind of crawled up out of that funk. But when I came out of that funk, I was clean and sober. I don't know if the two are related or if that just was a byproduct of brain damage. I don't know, but life's a lot better since I got sober, man.
I mean, honestly, I'm a bit of a fatalist. It's weird. It's a bit of a paradox because, on one hand, sorry, I'm just looking for my other earphones because I think they might be better than these ones. Yeah, I can't see you now. Back? Are we back?
You're good.
I'm moving around. I move around and I lose my connection.
You're fine.
Do you know what it is?
Go ahead. Speak. And we're having some technical difficulties from across the pond.
Back?
Yes, we're back. I can hear you.
I can't hear you now.
You can't hear me. I can hear me. You.
Oh, it's because I got changed I changed my earphones and forgot to put them on. Right, is that okay? Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, that's great, dude.
Yeah, these are better, these ones. These cost €20 and the other ones only cost 8. I can't remember what I was saying.
It doesn't matter. It's live.
Nah. I mean, head injuries. Yeah, that's what I was saying. Everything happens for a reason. So I'm a fatalist in that sense because, right, I believe. No, it's not even belief. I don't believe this. I'm going to tell you that I know this. I'm going to tell you that this is knowledge. But because unless you're in the same, unless you've reached the same conclusions, and then you'll go, yeah, I know that too. It will just be an opinion. unless you've experienced whatever it is the person is talking about, whoever it is that's talking about it, and they say, I know this to be true, unless you've experienced it yourself, you can't actually say whether it's true or not. You can just say, okay, maybe that's an opinion. And so even, it's down to anything. But so this is just an opinion to everybody else. But I believe that I know this in my heart, always have done. Every one of us there's a job for every one of us. We've all got a job to do while we're here. Each one of us is unique. Each one of us, we're all created equal. Now, in this reality that we're living in, we're not on an equal footing. But the abilities that we have, the innate abilities that we have as human beings, the ability to love, to feel compassion, empathy, to nurture, to care for, to hate, to be scared, to emotions, basically. We are all created equal, apart from psychopaths, maybe. But if they hadn't been messing with what we are ingesting, digesting, what we're breathing in, all of these chemicals that they've been putting in our food, in the air, in the water for the last however long it's been. If our bodies were operating as they should be operating on natural, organic, healthy food, then life would be a lot different. We'd be capable of so much more. We'd be aware of so much more than we're aware of. They've dumbed us down. They've really, really dumbed us down. And I can't remember my point. I can't remember the point. I've got so many things, so many points I want to make, so many things I want to say.
I've seen a dozen of your live streams and watched you roll flat philosophical for an hour and 45 minutes straight, and then turn and look at the other guy on your live stream and be like, wait a second, what were we talking about?
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's freaking awesome, man. I like that.
But it's right. I could put it down to so many different things. I could say,
you have fans.
I could say, I've got, yo, Andrea. Yes. Andrea's from, she's a Magic Treehouse Goonie.
That's cool.
Andrea's a Magic Treehouse Goonie. So, yeah, I could say, I could say, look, hey man, I've had 2 serious head injuries, one to the hippocampus and one to the frontal cortex. So, give me a break, man. I've got a short-term memory. I could say that I did so many chemicals, recreational drugs and alcohol in my 20s and 30s that I pickled my brain. So that could be another reason for it. It could be because I really enjoy the divine feminine. I like me a smoke, and because I stopped drinking in 2013. But I didn't. The reason I was able to stop drinking was because I was smoking weed. Because I still need that detachment from the normal feeling, that sort of.
With me, most of my drug problem derives directly from a accident that ruined my pelvis and back all in one go. And for probably 8, almost 9 years, I was more or less a paperweight. I was pretty much where you left me. Generally more fucked up than I was when you left. So, that was just life at that point. One day my hip popped back into place and I was able to get up and move around a little bit. And I just didn't get injured again, I guess. Managed to walk my way out of it. But
you appreciate, so I love this because you actually really appreciate what it's like to be immobile, to be immobilized from an injury. So both my legs were smashed in my car accident. My left one, they nearly cut my left one off, but they managed to save it. But it caused, because they saved it, it caused further problems that I wouldn't have had they cut it off. It was ironic. It turns out that probably it took me 8 years to walk again properly. So if they'd cut it off,
I still don't walk.
It probably would have only taken me, half that time, if that.
I'll tell you what, you ain't gonna get me to do a roadside sobriety test neither. I can't walk a straight line to save your life, dude. Save my life. It's not happening. And I have stared down about them. No, sir. I'm not doing it. No, sir. And they're like, well, you have to. You're going to go to jail. Well, lock me up because I can't walk a straight line anytime ever.
But is that because of alcohol, or is that because of
my hips all backed up?
It's because your hip. Yeah.
I literally can't walk a straight line.
Could you get some sort of note from the doctor saying you have an injury?
Paperwork on it. I mean, yeah. I've got all that crap, but they don't want to hear that on the side of the road. There ain't no judge.
No, they don't.
They just gonna cuff you and stuff you and sort it out Monday.
But the stupid thing about that is, it's like, look, fuck your sobriety test, because that's clinging on to the past with your bloody sobriety tests. Give me a breathalyzer, breathalyze me, and if I'm over the limit, lock me up, and if I'm not, do one.
In Georgia, we have something called implied consent. This means that if you deny the breathalyzer, you deny the sobriety or roadside sobriety test, they can drag you into a hospital and draw your blood test.
Yeah,
whatever. I mean, sure.
In the UK, dude, they just go, all right, you're guilty then.
That's kind of how it is here. It's like, well, you got pulled over by a cop, you're guilty, so here, pay a fine or plea down.
No, I mean, if you refuse the test, if you refuse to take the breathalyzer test, you're automatically struck. They say, okay, if you're refusing it, then you're obviously drunk.
If you refuse the roadside sobriety test, you're assumed guilty, and you go to.
I guess, yeah, that's why they take you to the hospital and take your blood just to prove it, isn't it? Yeah.
And that I'm stone cold sober. And I'll give you another good one on that same stop. The same stop now. The whole reason I was stopped was because I was driving on a suspended license. They thought I was also under the effects of drugs, run my blood, it comes back clean. They dropped those charges, but they reduced it to a reckless driving charge in association with driving on a suspended license. So I have my license suspended for longer, but here's the problem. They tried to add the time to the suspension on my license, only to find out that they had never suspended my license. So the original charge was completely and utterly bogus. The whole reason I was pulled over in the first place was completely out the window.
And that means that technically you weren't driving on a suspended license.
Actually, I was driving on a perfectly legal license. I had to let them suspend my license for 7 days so that I could come back and have them redone. Absolute retardation, dude. I hate bureaucracy. I absolutely hate it.
It's bureaucracy that's screwing my life up at the moment. Absolutely screwing my life up at the moment. Pure bureaucracy.
About that, I went and got earlier. I hadn't got them put together yet, but I'm going to include them in the show. At some point in time in the future, I'm assuming I'll include a Cash App and I'll do some stream elements and stuff, do all that stuff, right? But I'm not that savvy yet. So we're going to go with what we got. But I got some sound bites from Firefly of them talking about authoritarian regimes and people taking control. It's just silly.
From Firefly.
Yeah, the TV show.
The TV show on the Sci-Fi Channel, man. They made it into Serendipity. Was it Serendipity? Serenity, yeah. Brilliant film, man. Brilliant.
The film is excellent. The show is
absolutely brilliant.
Flawless.
how fit was that bird? She's the
Which one?
she played the main
Nara or River?
leader in V, the remake of V. She was gorgeous, man.
Gotta be
Sorry,
Nara.
just that's just the red-blooded male in me. Just remembering
Man,
the lead actress. Whoa.
River was so hot. I mean, even Zoe, who wasn't supposed to be hot, she was supposed to be like girl next door hot. She's a 9 out of 10. On that ship, she's a 7. Like, wow.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
And some of the best lines in all of movie history are dropped in that show. They're glorious. Like, seems I had what is it? Oh, no, my favorite. I bet my pretty blue. I can't remember it.
Oh, mate, no, yeah, yeah.
Something about
I bet my pretty blue eyes.
Yeah, if your hand touches steel, I bet my pretty blue bonnet it'll be the last movie you ever made. There's so many great lines, it's hard to keep them all straight.
I like the guy that was the lead,
Al,
the lead role in it. He went on to do that Castle, didn't he?
Yeah.
That was good as well. Castle was good as well, man. Got to say.
I didn't watch it so much. I was working when that was doing its big.
Oh yeah, I wasn't, man. I was in Portugal, living the dream, like doing my music and just when I say living the dream, I'm saying that kind of.
Thank you, Shasta.
Ironically, because it turned out to be a nightmare, man. In Portugal, turned out to be a bloody nightmare. Yeah, I ended up on my ass in Portugal.
It happened, man.
Yeah. Oh, I've ended up on my ass everywhere. Everywhere I've gone, I've managed to end up on my ass more than once. What can we do? You know, you just got to get up again, isn't it?
Yep. That's what you do. That's exactly the way you do it. All right, so you realize that we have 57 minutes of episode. You've been up for 44 minutes, and we've watched like a few moments of one of your videos.
Do you know, one of the things you'll learn about chatting with me, dude, is that time will go boom. And how long were we talking for the other night?
Like 3 hours. I don't know.
3 hours, at least 3 hours, man. And it was just like, boom, gone.
Yeah.
So what do you want to do? You go on, you take the lead, man.
I got another one of your videos. It's the meditation for abundance with a twist. It's just one of your little music.
Yes, that's my favorite. That's my favorite one. Can I talk about it first?
Sure. Yeah.
So this meditation, I'm a believer that we are co-creators of our reality, right? So there's certain things that go into manifestation, and they gave us this wonderful film and this wonderful book called The Secret, but what everybody was doing was they were focusing on material things, and they were focusing on material things for selfish reasons, and that kind of counteracts the secret. That's not like the secret is about. It's about something more than just getting things for yourself. I personally, this will go into my philosophy, my philosophy, theology. I believe that we were absolutely created. We're created beings on this earth. We didn't evolve from monkeys. The earth is not the shape that they taught us it was. Don't start screaming, he's a flat earther, because I'm not a flat earther. I'm absolutely vehemently against the flat earth
turtle
crap. Say again.
We all know that it's on top of a turtle named Matthew.
Dude, it's on top of 4 elephants that are on top of a turtle, actually. Yeah. You know, if you've read your books, you know what I'm talking about. Twin, the great twin. The great twin, it's called.
Great twin.
And yeah, he's very very intelligent.
I always put it this way: since that world has Archwin, there is another great turtle name from history, Maturin, which was the feminine version of the great turtle concept. And
Hmm.
I'm not sure exactly where I read that tidbit of information, probably from a Stephen King book or something.
Right. The interesting thing is that the research that's being done by the community that I'm quite a big part of, the research that's being done is showing that this thing about turtles, it has very, very, very important esoteric meaning behind it. The turtle, there's some sort of meaning behind it that we've never been told about. So let's just cut a long story short. I absolutely vehemently, I don't just believe, I know in my heart that they've been lying to us about everything, absolutely everything. Because if you control the narrative, you control perception. Like in that movie 1984, control the future. What is it? Control the past, and you control now, and you control now, and you control the future, or something, isn't it? So if you control the past, which is history, and when you think about it, his story, history, his story, that's not our story. That's the story of the winner, you know. And what we're taught all these stories about all these wars that happen to conquer land and conquer people and create empires and all of this. And we look at who's behind all of that and why do they exist? Why are these individuals, these human beings, just like us, just like you and me, but they seem to think that because they're from a certain bloodline, that they have some sort of inherent right from God, which they also deny. They both confirm and deny God at the same time, by advocating for science and yet saying that God said that they had a right to rule. And they've never worked a day in their freaking lives. So the richest people on earth. And why? Why is that? Why? Well, there's all these stories laid out as to why, but there's no real beginning of why one of them was chosen to be a king or a queen. Why were that? Why the first king or queen? Who chose them and why? Well, they tell us God chose them. Which God? Whose God? Whose God chose them? When you do your research into these families, into the secret societies that they belong to, and into all of that swampy crap, you find that the God that they're worshipping is different to the one that they're telling everybody else is God. You know, they're on one hand, for a long time, they were pushing forward Christianity and Catholicism, but the whole time they're worshipping the one that in Christianity and Catholicism is the devil. And that's the one that they're all worshipping. The ones that have pushed forward this religion are actually worshipping the bad guy in this religion. What's that about?
Greatest devil ever pulled, convincing the world he didn't exist.
Yeah, exactly. The greatest trick the devil ever pulled was convincing man that he evolved from a bloody monkey. That's one of the greatest tricks that the devil ever pulled, man. I've got a theory about the devil, about Satan. Satan, the devil, Lucifer, three different characters. Three different characters, man, that from three different eras. Three different characters from three different eras that have become one person in this reality. It's like Satan is a consciousness. It's not a person, man. Go on, sorry.
When I do one of these shows, I go back and watch just about everything a person has created. If I don't watch the whole thing. I'll watch a few minutes of it. I'll kind of high speed through it and just get a gist of what's going on them. I've watched an awful lot of your videos.
Yeah.
Like a bunch of them. And in a way, some of your early stuff where you was first starting to play around with your music, some of that stuff's really funky and cool. Like you kind of progressed past it to doing, I guess you could say, better stuff, more complicated stuff, certainly. But some of those old beats, they're really neat.
The stuff that I was writing or just the stuff I was playing?
I don't know the difference. I mean, like I said, I had to, like, you've got a lot of material to go through. So there's no way I could sit down and watch all of it. So
there's like nearly 2,000 videos on my 007 channel. Yeah.
Man's been busy. Let me tell you.
I was making. I mean, sometimes there were points where I was making 4 videos a day, and then I'd go a couple of weeks and not making one, you know. And now, and also I was making longer videos back then. Now my videos are a bit shorter because, you know, people's attention span, man. We've really got to think, because what made me recognize it was my own attention span. I realized, hang on a second, my attention span's gone zoom. Like, if it's got to have certain things to keep my attention. And for me, it's different than for other people. Everybody, it's different, isn't it? But for me, it's not the same for me as for everybody else. Like, I really like long videos. I like videos that are an hour long, so I don't have to think about what I'm going to watch next. I can sit down and zone out for an hour thinking about, you know, whatever it is that is being talked about. But go on, you were going to play the video, man. I was trying. See, this is what it's like talking to me, right? This is what it's like talking to me. I was trying to explain to you where this song came from. I believe that we create reality, right? I believe that our collective perception is the key to reality. That's why they control the narrative, because the collective perception, right, and that's the affected collective, basically, which is what truthers refer to as sheeple, because they're in greater numbers than the truthers are. So the large proportion of humanity that is buying into something like mainstream media. So let's take the recent thing that's been happening that everybody knows about, that we can't really give it proper name. You know, we can't call it by its proper name.
Yeah.
That when that started, me and my friends were talking about that a couple of months before it even happened, before anybody even heard about it. We were saying something's coming, something's going to happen. And then that happened. And when it happened, we looked into it and we said, yeah, this is going to be at least 2 years, man. And everybody's going, no, 2 weeks. What are you talking about? It's going to be 2 weeks. No, this is going to blow over, man. This is going to be done by the end of Easter. This is going to be done by the end of summer. This will all be finished before Christmas. No problem. Yeah, this will be done before the new year. No, this will be out before springtime. No, by the time summer's here, and it's been like that, it's like 2 weeks equals whatever they decide it's going to be, man. Yeah. And so we'd already been talking about all of that.
It's just a passport.
Say again?
Freedom. It's just an app. It's just, you know, your fingerprints. It's just an ID. It's just your First Amendment. It's just your Second Amendment. See how this goes?
Yeah, man. I mean, the thing is, we were saying, look, they're going to, you know, these things, we were saying about these things. These are nothing to do with health. This is about, this is like a badge. This is a badge of obedience. This is, yes, I will do what I'm told. I won't ask any questions, and I'll just do what I'm told. And it's got multiple meanings, actually. There's multiple layers to why people are being made to wear masks, from health to symbology to all kinds of things. The collective perception was that it was real. The collective perception.
New Ghostbuster movies are both horrible.
Say that again.
He said he's been saying something was coming for a while, and then bam, the new Ghostbuster movie.
Yeah, get woke, go broke, man. Get woke, go broke. They're destroying all the franchises, all of them. They've destroyed They've destroyed Indiana Jones, Star Wars.
I've got one I'm actually excited about: The Wheel of Time. If you've never read any of the Wheel of Time series, it's all about like different variations of time and time being cyclical, and there being different ways to experience time and stuff. And it's all kind of woke when it was written. Like,
that sounds like my sort of book, man.
Amazingly woke the way it was written. So if they come in and try to wokeify it,
whoa.
Luck. No, man, they can't do it. They will end up taking some woke out of that series, because it's all about the strength of women and the power of Gaia, and the strength of the women over the male forces of nature and stuff. It's an excellent series, but it's very gynocentric, which is a decent book. I like it. I think they're going to be fun.
To be honest, dude, would you have ever believed that they were going to kill off James Bond and turn it into a female character?
I had a crazy science teacher when I was in high school, and he told me about this crazy thing that he thought people had planned. And so this too has come to pass. He was right.
No. So what I was saying about the collective perception. So society was collectively perceiving what they were being told, and they still do, or the large majority of them still do, collectively perceive what they're being told to be true in school, by the government. I mean, they lie to us about some things, but they're not all bad. They don't lie to us about everything. They wouldn't ever lie to us about that, and
you're not familiar with the Tuskegee Experiment, are you?
Say again?
You're not familiar with the Tuskegee Experiment, are you?
Oh, do you know what? That rings a bell.
Whether or not government a lot of people. This is one where old Uncle Sam decided to take our stunning and brave black brethren and infect them with syphilis to see how it affected them.
Yes. I am aware of that.
They were treating it for 20 some odd years, lied to them every week.
They were making out they were treating it, weren't they? They were making out they were treating it, but they weren't. They were like giving them saline or something.
That's top tier, like evil. That is a level of evil. Do
you know what, dude? I have a theory about this as well. This sort of thing, all right? You know what I was saying before in that stream that you were in? I was saying, this is your movie, right? And I've written the song. This is your movie. This is you're the director. People get scared, right? They've made their biggest weapon against us, their biggest tool, not weapon, their biggest device, their biggest tool is fear, sowing fear, because fear is the mind killer. Fear stops you from being able to do anything properly. You don't operate at your full capacity when you're scared. Fear for us is supposed to be a tool. Fear shouldn't exist unless you're in a life-threatening situation. If you've got a grizzly bear that's gonna right in front of you, or a tiger, or a guy with a gun pointed at your head, or a knife at your throat, or something like that, then yes, be afraid. If you're walking through a dodgy district and you hear somebody walking behind you and they're keeping pace with you, and it's probably a good idea to, that fear that you're feeling is not stupid, but the fear that the fear that they sow in all of us is ridiculous. And they've been doing it our entire lives, and they've been doing it for generations. They started off, the way they were doing it was through religion. Religion is just another device. It's mind control. It's to control your own perception of what's real. The best way for you to know what's real is to ask. Just ask the universe. Say, show me what's real, man. What's true? What's real? What's not? Because if you ask, the universe will answer. They've told us that we came from a big bang and it was just this fluke. Wow, it's crazy. We actually came from nothing. That was so much nothing. It was so intense that it just imploded and exploded at the same time and became everything. And so how can it be possible that you can ask the universe and it will answer for you? It will answer. Now, I've prayed my whole life. I've prayed, and there's been prayers that have been stupid. Just, it's been my ego that's been praying because I've wanted something or I haven't wanted something. But when I've prayed and it's been my heart and I've been on my knees, I'm gonna, look, if you don't do something, I'm done. I can't do this anymore. And I've prayed then, prayer's been answered like that. Every time. When I've asked questions
with a different channel, he does the whole like Bible study / ministry type thing that he's doing. Using YouTube to mass communicate, that kind of thing. You might have a pretty good conversation with him. I'm not very.
What's his name? I might know him. I might watch him.
It's Jake Johnson, Untethered Live. He does these things. Sunday, it's Friday, Saturday, Sunday. It's Monday, Wednesday, Friday, sometimes Saturday, usually Sunday. But for all I know, he's live right now.
Is he very religious? Is he very
that's
invested in the scriptures?
Yeah, that's his whole channel. That's the whole thing.
Because I can come across, not come across. It's not how I come across. It's how Christians perceive the things that I say. So, God, this is why talking to me, dude, could never be an hour. I have spoken to God my entire life, right? Without bidding, without being told to. I asked my mum and dad if God exists and if they believe in him, and they said, well, yeah, we don't really know, kind of agnostic about it. Weren't practicing Christians.
Look at me. There's no way that this level of perfection could have been reached unless a God.
Oh God, no, absolutely no way. No. Oh my God. I mean, this is what makes me laugh. It's like, so hang on a second. Have you seen how proteins are carried through the body, right? And how there's these receptors and stuff in the body that are perfectly, they just designed to pick out those proteins out of everything else. They know what proteins to get, and not only that, they're perfectly shaped so the protein fits into them like it's like a jigsaw puzzle, and they know exactly what to go out and get these protein. How does something evolve into that? How do you evolve from the sludge, from the primordial sludge into eyes and all of that?
The amount of respect for that first fish that crawled out on land. That man was really thinking outside the box.
Say that again.
The very first amphibian that crawled out and took a breath, that one was really working for it.
It's like, hey, look, you know what, man? I'm getting out of this joint. This is getting too crowded down here. I've seen something over there.
I would fucking take a breath, something that's never been done before.
Do you know what it was, mate? The way it happened, because this is how it always happens. It was ironic. The way it happened, the way if that's how it happened, yeah. I don't believe that's how it happened. I'm a creationist. I think that everything was created. I actually think that everything was created by us. I think we are the creators. We've always been the creators. We've got amnesia. We've got amnesia because the people controlling us have made sure to give us amnesia. Because if we remember who we are, if we remember what we've done and who we are, then the people that are controlling us, they're gone. Like in a thought. Like if we could all remember who we were and all stand there as one, we could, in a thought, they'd be gone. They'd be erased from this earth. They'd be erased from existence. They wouldn't exist anymore. I'd be interested to meet somebody who is part of that world, because then I would be able to say, I'd have a clearer, I'd be clearer about how I'm perceiving things now. Because how I perceive things now is that every single one of those mothers is a background character. Every single, like the politics, government, TV stars, news anchors, all of them. Anybody that I don't interact with is a background character in my version, my verse within this multiverse, because we live in a multiverse, but the way that works is through perception, because each one of us, nobody can deny this, every single one of us has our own perception of what happens, right? And that's proven through police eyewitness statements. Have 10 people watch the same event and give 10 completely different perceptions of that event. So that every one of us is unique. We've all taken slightly different steps to get to where we are. Some of us have taken vastly different steps, but a lot of us have kind of walked in similar steps. You know, we've done similar things, but they're not the same steps. They're different steps. They might be going in the same direction. They might even be meeting the same people and stuff, but everything else is different. Every single thing that happens is unique to you as a person. So in your perception, you have your idea of what this universe is. You have your idea of what this earth is, the shape of it, how big it is. Some people don't even think about that. So to them, they're like, well, I don't know. What does NASA say? NASA says it's a globe. Okay, it's a globe. So every single person has their own perception. Within those perceptions is their own reality. It's the reality according to their perception. And so that means within that reality is their own version of the universe. Uni means one. Universe. One verse. So this is my universe. You're in your universe. Our mates are in their universes. Every single one of you people watching now, I don't know how, it could be 3, it could be 300. I've got no idea. I can't see the chat. But every single one of you is in your own universe. My mum used to say to me, "You're not the center of the universe, Richie." Actually, it was Richard. "You're not the center of the universe, Richard." And back then I'd be like, "Yes, I know. And in so many ways, that's right. You're not. Like, everything doesn't revolve around you, but you are the center of your universe because it's your verse. It's your universe.
Right.
So that's how the multiverse exists, because and parallel universes, parallel realities, multiple realities. Every single one of us is holding our own reality within our perception. And so there they are, multiple realities, parallel universes, multiverse, right here, right now. It's always been here. It's just what they've made us do is think that it's out there. It's out there somewhere. It's unreachable. We can't get there. We can't possibly understand it. We're not rocket scientists. We haven't been to, Harvard and MIT, and we don't have doctorates in rocket science and all of that stuff. And we're not intelligent enough to know that. Well, everything that they're telling you is a lie. It's all built on, everything is built on lies. And what you've got is a lot of people, an unbelievable amount of people that have built their entire lives on a false model, on a false paradigm. When they told us all our lives, they tell us, think outside the box, man. You got to think outside the box. Well, what is a box? What is a box?
No one likes you if you think outside the box.
Oh, see,
Trust me.
because of, I think it's because of what I was. I mean,
I'm just saying.
I was being groomed when I was a young kid. I was being groomed, and not in that way. Not in that way. Yeah, that's sick. Not in that way. I was being groomed to become an aspiring elite. That's what I was being groomed for. I went to private school, went to preparatory school, and I was doing Latin at 6, and because I am me.
Definitely have a sit down and talk. I'm not cutting you short, but I have a little musical thing I have to do.
Yeah. Well, we still haven't played the video yet, dude.
No, we haven't even done that. We're at that point now. I mean, I don't have a problem with it. You're doing your thing. This is exactly what I brought you on here to do. I've got all your stuff linked up. Everything's in place, so you're all fixed up. I would prefer to have a guest that comes on and speaks, and I don't have to play the videos, because the videos are what ends up getting copyright claimed or struck or whatever is going to happen. So here's what I'd usually do. When we have a show where someone who's capable of speaking at length comes out and does so, we go to a after panel where I do the TikTok videos, and I invite other people from the chat in, and they come in, and we all kind of react to the TikTok videos that I've got picked out. I went through the brain worms. They're not too bad. Yeah. It's mostly just pets and people falling down. Yeah. But I do have a couple of things that I'd like to do before we sign off on the show, right? Where I'm going to play this video. It's 4 minutes and 37 seconds. If anybody, wants to run and get something to drink, you got a few minutes. Then I'm going to do my musical outro. And then when we come back, we'll come back and I'll have some of this stuff rearranged around, and we'll do the panel, and they can question you, or you can question them, or you can talk for another hour. However that works out. Cool. All right, brother. I'm going to take over the screen for a minute. Oh, wait. No, you took over the big screen. Let me try that again. There we go. All right. Yeah, we're still learning here. This is the live part of live. It's the most fun. It's the best part of it. I'm going to do that. And we will go to your video first.
Money flows to me so freely, endlessly, abundantly. I said money flows to me so freely, endlessly, abundantly. And I'm fully conscious of my true worth, endlessly, abundantly. I said fully conscious of my true worth, endlessly, abundantly. And I'm filling my time with sincere love and affection. I am giving my talents with sincere love and affection. And I'm blessed beyond with sincere love and spiritually. Blessed beyond belief, both financially and spiritually. So it feels amazing, abundantly. I said money flows to me, so it feels amazing, abundantly. And I'm fully conscious of my both financially and spiritually. Blessed beyond belief, both financially and spiritually. spiritually. Give my talents with sincere love and affection. Give my talents with sincere love and affection. I'm barely conscious of my true worth. Seems to be as if barely conscious of my true worth. Seems to be, and I'm feeling conscious of my sincere love. I'm conscious of my true worth. I am fully conscious of my true worth. Fully conscious of my true worth. My talents with sincere love and belief shine both fine. My talents and spiritual love beyond abundantly. As money flows and spiritually endlessly abundantly. As fully conscious of my true worth endlessly abundantly. Yes, I'm fully conscious of my true worth. I am fully conscious of my true worth. And I use my talents with sincere love and spiritually endlessly abundantly. As money flows to me, so feeling endlessly abundantly. I'm fully conscious of my true worth. I am fully conscious of my true worth.
There's Jupiter.
I give my talents with sincere love and affection. I give my talents with sincere love and affection. Blessed beyond belief, both financially and spiritually. Blessed beyond belief, both financially and spiritually.
All right. Well, let's bring my man back in here and let him have a final say. You reckon you keep it a little brief? Keep it like under 27 minutes or so. Like literally.
I'll do my best, man. So that song, one of the things you'll notice about that song is it's quite repetitive, but there's an intention behind that. I wrote a meditation a few weeks ago that was similar. It was based more on those lyrics than being those lyrics. Those lyrics are closer to the original meditation that I heard, which was about reprogramming your subconscious. I heard this meditation to reprogram your subconscious because it's your subconscious that drives you all the time. And if you believe that you can manifest things, and you try and do The Secret, and you go, right, and I've just got to look at these pictures of what it is that I want to manifest, and I've got to think about it, and I've got to imagine that I'm there and in the moment, and I'm doing that every day for 6 hours a day, and it's still not manifesting. It's because your subconscious is stopping it from manifesting. So you have to reprogram your subconscious. What they've done to us in society is they've subconsciously programmed us, subliminally, subconsciously programmed every single one of us to really believe that things like that just aren't possible. Miracles don't happen. That's all stuff that happens in the movies, and we don't deserve it. And there's not enough. There's not enough money. There's not enough food. There's not enough space. There's not enough of anything. It's all, we're living in lack. That's a subconscious programming in us. And if you can change your subconscious, then the idea is that you can then start to take more control of your reality. And I wanted to reprogram my subconscious. So I created a meditation, and I did it with a different type of music, and I spoke it in I've got a really, sort of soft, deep, meditative. I can do one of the things I like to do is voices for different things, it's a saying. And so I'm sat on a bed. That's why I bounce up and down. I've got so much energy inside me. I can't stay still. But I wanted to reprogram my subconscious. So I took the original hypnosis thing that I heard, and I changed the lyric. I changed it slightly, and then I re-recorded it in my voice with my music that I'd written and performed.
Great tune, dude. I kind of dig it.
Well, but the thing is, I listened to it a couple of times, but what I wanted was something that was going to reprogram my subconscious. And I thought, well, to do that, I need something that I can listen to while I'm walking around, while I'm walking Alfie, when I go to the shops, when I'm just, I'm sick of what's on the screen and I just want to lay there and close my eyes and, drift off to sleep have a siesta. Something that I can listen to all the time. Now, the original meditation that I did was one that was really a meditation. It was an actual meditation. You make a statement at the beginning, setting an intention, and then you do the meditation. And the meditation, it was repeated 5 times. Money flows to me so freely, endlessly, abundantly. I can't remember what I originally wrote, but it wasn't really working for me. I listened to it like 3 or 4 times maybe, and then I didn't listen to it again. And then I did a different type of meditation where it was all about aligning your chakras, and it was just purely musical, dealing with the tones. Each chakra has its own tone. So I started off at the root chakra, and I did 7 tones, and I did meditations in those tones. So there's A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E, F. Yeah, it doesn't go that way, does it? Because it starts at the bottom. It's B, C, D, A, E. No, C, D. Oh God, I can't remember the order. Anyway, I did the tones, and then I was talking to somebody. I forget where it was, but I was talking to somebody a couple of weeks after that. I was talking to somebody about that was it. It was with Jody and with her friend Johnny that we were in the Magic Tree House, and she was talking about the music that I'd done, and she said, why don't you play in one? So I picked out the A Bells meditation, and while it was playing, I was looking at the meditation that I'd written, and I started sort of singing along to it in my head. And I thought, wow, actually that works. And so I did a really rough version of it, played it to the guys in the treehouse and said, I'm going to do something with this tomorrow. I'm going to make this into a song. And the next morning I did it. I wrote that, and I've made that track. It took me about 2 hours, and it just works. For me, it works. The whole idea, like it, yeah, it's kind of selfish. I was doing it for me because I don't have the audacity to believe that I can do it for everybody else. Or I didn't have the audacity to believe that, yeah, man, I've made this really great meditation that's going to work for absolutely everybody, and you should all listen to it, and it's going to reprogram your subconscious. I was just trying to reprogram my subconscious, and I shared it because I'm sharing what's going on in my life, in my journey. It's to reprogram my subconscious and to say, yeah, I actually, do you know what? I deserve good things happening. I'm not a bad person. I'm actually a nice guy. I like to help people. I'm very, very generous with my time, with my things, with money. If I've got money, I'm generous with it. If I've got money that I don't need, I'll give it to somebody that does need it, because that's the way I'm like, I've had so much help in my life. It's my obligation to pass it forward. I've hit rock bottom, absolute rock bottom 5 times. My life's been reset right back to bottom, where I've been on the streets, living on the streets, but not begging. I've never begged, but living on the streets. And it's always been strangers that have helped me out. It's always been people that I've not known for very long, or they've been complete strangers that have helped me out. And the one guy that sorted me out the last when I was on the streets in Malaga in 2015, and somebody that I hadn't seen for 18 months, but I'd known him for a few years, for a good few years, like 3 years I'd known him for, and then he disappeared, and then he heard about my situation, and he flew me here to Tenerife, set me up in an apartment, introduced me to people, really helped me out. And that was the only person that I'd helped out that helped me out back. It was the only person that ever did that ever gave it back to me. I'd been very loyal and helped him out, and so he did the same for me. Was that 27 minutes?
I think you made it just under the line. You didn't have to go for 27 minutes. I just didn't want it.
Dude, I've just cut myself short. I've got so many more things I want to say.
We have time after I play us out. So,
but much love. Thank you very much for listening to me, and kudos to you if you've had the patience.
Oh man, I can sit around and listen to people wax philosophical until the end of time. I don't have a particular opinion in most directions, and so typically it's a good thought experiment, if nothing else. So I mean, I consider myself a bit of an agnostic constitutionalist. So I don't really have a strong belief that I can lay at your feet and say this is what I believe, but I'm willing to listen to you and have every belief that you have every right to have your
belief is a dangerous thing.
It can be a very dangerous thing. Yes, sir.
Yeah, you have to know. You don't believe. You either know, or you believe. You hope.
Right. It's really all you can do. So I'm going to play us out on this little shindig that we got going on, and then we'll be back. I'll post the link in chat. We'll see who joins us and who wants to watch some silly videos. Assuming my signal doesn't drop out, it just in a bucket. Oh, it's back. That's cool. It might even work out for us. Okay, so we're going to push the button, make it happen, and I'm going to mute you. We'll be back in probably a minute and a half.
Fuck this shit, I'm out. Fuck this shit, I'm out. No thanks. Don't mind me. I'ma just grab my stuff and leave. Excuse me, please. Fuck this shit, I'm out. Nope. Fuck this shit, I'm out. Alright then. I don't know what the fuck just happened, but I don't really care. I'ma get the fuck up out of here. Fuck this shit, I'm out.